Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special program of Encounter. Today, our invitee is Swami Giriraj Maharaj. His Holiness Swami Giriraj Maharaj. Welcome in our program. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ajnanati mirandhasya, jnananjana shalakaya, chakshurun miritam lena, tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Jai.
Let me start with a small brief about you. His Holiness Swami Giriraj Maharaj, a spiritual master from International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Swami was born Glenn Philip Teton in the home of a respected Chicago lawyer who was later appointed judge. He met His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in March 1969. While studying at Brandeis University in Boston, and considered that he learned more from Srila Prabhupada in one meeting than he had learned in his 20 years of academic education. After graduating from Brandeis cum laude, Glenn took formal initiation from Srila Prabhupada and was given the spiritual name Giriraj Das. In 1972, after Giriraj has toured India with the Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada appointed him the president of ISKCON Bombay, as well as a trustee of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. After Srila Prabhupada's departure in 1977, Giriraj Das was awarded the renounced Order of Life and appointed the president of ISKCON's Board of Trustees in India. In 1982, he was made a member of the ISKCON's governing body commission, the ultimate managing authority for the movement, and went on to oversee the society's activities in Bombay, Mauritius, South Africa, Spain, Portugal, Sri Lanka, and yes, Pakistan. So let's start this spiritual encounter with His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. Swamiji, once again, welcome in our studio, in our program.
Thank you.
I can still remember last time we met. It's our second meeting. Last time we met and we was really enlightened by your visit. And a devotee is always thirsty for knowledge. So I keep my cup empty. With the blessings, I will fill it. My first question, Swamiji. 1969 to 2023, mostly 55 years at the service of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. How was your journey, Swamiji?
My journey was wonderful. I feel that I have gained immensely from Krishna Consciousness, and it keeps getting better and better. It never becomes old or stale, but it's always fresh and enlivening. And I've been able to visit so many places in the world in service to my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. And people are they're thirsty for this knowledge. They're hungry. And so we are fulfilling a real need in the lives of people by giving them Krishna consciousness.
Swamiji, one very ordinary, a normal question coming from the normal public. In Hinduism, we have so many deities, so many gods. So for you, why Shri Krishna and not Shiva, Lord Ram, and other deities?
Well, according to the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Stu Bhagavan Swayam, which means Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rama is an expansion of Krishna, and so we also worship Rama. Shiva is a devata, or what we call a demigod, and he's also a servant of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. Lord Shiva is the greatest of Vaishnavas. And Lord Shiva is actually pleased when we worship and serve Lord Krishna. So there's no incompatibility or contradiction.
So you are among the first pioneers to launch ISKCON in Mauritius. So can you tell us, was it easy that time?
From the beginning, the people in Mauritius were receptive to Krishna consciousness. And I was very enlivened and inspired by my time here. And many people came forward to participate. And of course, some participated as congregation members, and others joined as full-time devotees. And many of those early devotees are still with us now, and they're also relishing their experience in Krishna consciousness. So everyone has gained. In material life, one person wins and the other person loses, but in Krishna consciousness, everyone wins, everyone gains. Nobody loses.
Again, one very small and normal question. To be a devotee of Sri Krishna, one should leave his family life and come to ISKCON and wear this robe, or can a family man be a devotee and stay with his family?
Yes. We follow the system of Varnashram Dharma. And in Varnashram Dharma, there are 4 orders: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. So one can be a Grihastha and also be a devotee of Krishna. In fact, most of our devotees are Grihasthas. And then there are some brahmacharis who live in the temples and serve full-time as brahmacharis. Most will enter Grihastha ashram, but then later, after some time, they may enter retired life, Vanaprastha ashram, or the renounced order, which is sannyas. In my case, I went straight from a brahmachari to sannyasi.
But is it not difficult, like being a family man, and we still a devotee of Sri Krishna, where Sri Krishna tells us about the detachment with our materialistic things. So being a family man, we tend to create attachment with our family. So is it not difficult being a family man and being a devotee of Sri Krishna?
The main factor in any situation is to keep Krishna in the center. So if Krishna is in the center of your family life, then your family life can be very congenial for Krishna consciousness. And the husband and wife cooperate. And it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam that no one should become a mother, no one should become a father, no one should become a husband, no one should become a guru, unless they can deliver their dependents from the repetition of birth and death. So parents have a very serious responsibility to deliver their children from the cycle of birth and death. And that is possible only if the parents themselves become pure devotees and set the example. But otherwise, Grihastha ashram can be a wonderful ashram. Ashram is related to the word ashraya, which means shelter. So Grihastha ashram is also an ashram. It's a place to take shelter of Krishna.
It's a beautiful ashrama, the Grihastha ashrama. And you mean to say that whatever we are doing in a Grihastha ashram, we are doing for the Lord Krishna?
That's the ideal. That just like you're earning money, that's all right. But then you should spend the money to maintain your family with a Krishna conscious lifestyle. So it all becomes dovetailed in the service of the Lord.
My next question is, Swamiji, ISKCON Mauritius is celebrating the 40th anniversary of the installation of his first deity, Sri Sri Radha Golokanand. After 4 decades, what changes or improvements did you notice in Mauritius?
Yes, actually today itself, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary. Yeah, the event is this evening.
Right now, on the day we are recording this program.
Yes. And Mauritius has developed a lot. There's much more infrastructure, so it's easier to travel and to accomplish things. So overall, Mauritius has improved a lot. It's lost a little of the charm it had in the earlier days, but that's all right. The country has made a lot of progress, and I'm happy for it.
Recently, the Punch Tatwa Mandir has just inaugurated. We have visited. So tell us about this inauguration and the Punch Tatwa Mandir.
Yes. Well, the Punch Tatwa are very important in Krishna consciousness. And in fact, in Kirtan and even in Japa, before we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we chant the Punch Tatwa mantra, which is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas. And so the Panchatattva are especially merciful, and it was a great achievement for Devakinandan Das and his team to establish the Panchatattva Mandir in Fondusak. And many dignitaries attended the function. And I was there as Devakinandan Das's guru. And Bhakti Chaitanya Swami was there as the GBC representative for Mauritius. And there were a number of Prabhupada disciples, and it was a glorious occasion.
And how was the response from the public?
Oh, they loved it. There's a big hall, and the hall was packed.
Swamiji, please enlighten me. As far as I know, the Panch Tatwa, according to Bodh Tatwa, they are the earth, water, space, fire, and air. Panch Tatwa. So, as per the Srimad Bhagavatam, who are the Panch Tatwa?
Yeah, well, what you mentioned, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, that's a different Panchatattva. Those are the
5 elements.
Material elements.
Yeah.
But here we're talking about the 5 divine personalities. And there's another mantra, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa, and in the form of a devotee. Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, that's Lord Nityananda. Bhakta Avatara, that's Advaita. Bhakta Akyam, that's Srivas. Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, and that's Gadadhar. So they're all divine personalities, and they're especially merciful to us fallen souls in the present age of Kali Yuga.
Swamiji, you have written several books.
Yes.
And the last one is Dancing White Elephants. Please tell us about the content of this book.
Yes. This is the book, Dancing White Elephants, Traveling with Srila Prabhupada in India, August 1970 to March 1972. In a way, you could say this is a prequel to my last book, which is I'll Build You a Temple, the Juhu story. So this covers the period from when we arrived in India leading up to when we got the Juhu land. And Srila Prabhupada affectionately called us his dancing white elephants, so we took that phrase for the title. And the foreword to the book was written by Her Grace Malati Dasi, who was present for that period of time with Srila Prabhupada and the rest of us in India. And she wrote, "This book is a page-turner to the highest degree. Once you begin, you just can't put it down. Through Maharaj's carefully chosen words, you will see the exquisite sights and feel like you are living the experiences that were part of establishing the Hare Krishna movement in India. You will meet incredible devotees who became pillars of this movement through their own storied spiritual growth and advancement, and be introduced to seemingly ordinary persons whose lives became transformed by contact with Prabhupada and his dancing white elephants, just as he envisioned."
Beautiful. So, Swamiji, why the title Dancing White Elephants and not something on Bhagavan Shri Krishna? Is there any special story behind?
Yes. The book highlights Srila Prabhupada and his activities with his disciples, whom he affectionately called dancing white elephants. And it's an intriguing title. When people read the title, they become curious. Well, what is this? And Srila Prabhupada affectionately called us his dancing white elephants because we would attract so many people. You can imagine if there was a group of dancing white elephants, people would be attracted to see what is this. So we were Prabhupada's dancing white elephants, and people were attracted.
Swamiji, one personal question. As we know that there are two gunas, the nirguna gunas and the saguna gunas, in order to attain God. We can go for the nirguna gunas without any forms, and we can go for the saguna gunas, like with a form. But there is a third way, the nama japa, reciting names. What is the importance of reciting names comparing to these two, nirguna and saguna?
Yes, the chanting of the holy names is especially recommended for the present age of Kali Yuga. And it is stated in the Brihad Naradiya Purana, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, Kalona steva, nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. One should chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names of Hari, Krishna. There is no other way, no other way, no other way for success in Kali Yuga. And when something is repeated 3 times, it is to give great emphasis. So this is repeated 3 times. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama. Chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. There is no other way for success in Kali Yuga.
Is it not a scientific way to keep our mind focused on one thing?
Yes, we should keep our mind focused on the sound of the holy name. When we chant, the mind will tend to wander, but as Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever the mind wanders, one should bring it back under the control of the self. So one gets the maximum benefit from chanting if his mind is fixed on the sound of the holy name. There's
Great.
benefit anyway, but more benefit if you can focus your attention.
Great, great. I would also like to know how the Mauritians from the Hindu society in the early 80s accepted a white guru, a white Swami like you, teaching the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita.
Most of the Mauritians were open to us and accepted us. Although I did detect that there were some who would feel more comfortable with an Indian guru. And so I did invite His Holiness Gorgovinda Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Krishna Das Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti True Swami Maharaj. Of course, Bhakti True Swami Maharaj and I worked together as co-GBCs for Mauritius. But most of them were okay, but not all. And we also catered to them by providing
After all, the knowledge.
Indian ISKCON gurus, yeah.
After all, what matters is the knowledge, not
Yes.
the color of the skin.
Exactly, that's true.
Like Swami Vivekananda once said, in India, they judge people by the behavior and not by the costume and all. So we'll continue with our questions. We are in a digital era, and it's a fact that youngsters are not much interested in spirituality. They are much more interested in science and technology. Please give us your views on how the same can be changed.
Well, we have a lot of young people coming to Krishna Consciousness, and they're happy to make friends with other people of their age who are also devotees. But of course, I'm sure there are many who are not interested in Krishna Consciousness. But we can attract them mainly through our festivals, chanting, dancing, feasting, and philosophy. Whatever they may get in their digital pursuits, they won't get good prasad. So we can attract them by good prasad. Wonderful feasts we have at our festivals. And they can also come around.
Is Krishna consciousness a religious movement or spiritual movement?
A spiritual movement. One, as Srila Prabhupada explains, it is Sanatan Dharma, but we should understand what is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal. It has no beginning and no end. And dharma is often translated as religion or duty. But Srila Prabhupada explains that the root of the word dharma is dra, which means characteristic. And so it's the eternal characteristic of the soul, of the living entity, to serve God. And so that it's natural. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Jiver Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. The constitutional position of the living entity is he's eternal servant of Krishna. And when we act in that position, we are happy and satisfied.
Beautiful, beautiful. Swamiji, we have come to the end, but before we have 2 more questions left. So quickly, I'll go with the first question before ending. As per my research, I've come across that Srila Prabhupada, during his visit to our island, Mauritius, will be the first he said, Mauritius will be the first Krishna consciousness country in the world. Decades later, we can see a lot of ISKCON temples around the island. Is that the modus operandi to achieve this particular goal?
Yes, Srila Prabhupada did want that, or he envisioned that Mauritius could become the first Krishna conscious country because the majority of the people are Hindu, and they're simple, they're receptive, and how to achieve that? Yes, we've opened many temples which attract people, and then further we can have festivals, outdoor festivals. In December they have the Mayberg Boat Festival, and devotees participate, and many people are attracted. So yeah, the future is bright for Krishna consciousness in Mauritius.
Great, great. So Swamiji, here we are, the end of the program. But before leaving, any special message to our Mauritian viewers, especially our youngsters here?
Just chant and be happy. Once in New York, Srila Prabhupada was asked if he had any message for the people of New York. And he said, yes, don't live like cats and dogs. So we could say that too, but you're not living like cats and dogs, I'm quite sure. So I would say chant Hare Krishna, read Srila Prabhupada's books, and share your good fortune with others so they can also benefit from the sublime philosophy and practices of Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness.
His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, thank you very, very much for your time and yes, for this spiritual encounter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's my pleasure.